Hey agents, it's Dispatch. Welcome to another episode of Build or Bust, where we take someone else's build, analyze its effectiveness, and try to improve it. Up this time is Upora Films with their Red Core Striker Regen build. Let's get stuck into it. Let's go over the build and its stats before we get to the analysis. The build is 4-piece Striker, Striker Chest, Foxes, Memento with Armor Regen Miners, Protection from Elites mods, Survivalist, Mender Seeker, and Fixer Drone, St. Elmo's Engine, and some expertise on the Mender. Total, we've got 933,000 armor, 5 minor regen attributes plus 3% armor regen from Memento. The Mender Seeker is doing 29,000 repairs a second, and the Fixer is doing 25,000. Let's analyze this build. Really, we've got stats going every which way. We've got red cores providing our damage, and damage to targets out of cover. It's whatever, it's providing a little bit of damage. Elmo already comes with some critical hit chance and critical hit damage, so we're doing meh on that front. I'm not going to criticize the Elmo choice since different people like different weapons, and it's a very reasonable choice in this instance. Regardless of whatever stats it has being optimized or not, changing weapons can change your playstyle, so we'll leave it as it is. What isn't an issue of playstyle or feelings is raw stats on brand pieces. Foxes is a poor choice here. Even assuming 100% uptime on damage to targets out of cover, we're losing a potential 16% critical hit chance that we are desperately needing. That would give us more damage. So if we throw on Cheska with a critical hit chance minor, we're looking at a multiplicative increase in this case of 10% that isn't dependent on external conditions. If you watch their gameplay, you'll also notice that they don't get over 50% striker stacks. This isn't a criticism of their play. I think most people would struggle to reach full striker stacks without using something like the ACS-12. In the open world, where engagement distances are longer than something like missions, shotgun stacking might not even work that well at all. Regardless, the conclusion from this is that the chest piece is literally doing nothing. We're almost never hitting the number of stacks to activate it. Instead, we could run Perfect Companion, Obliterate, or even Kinetic Momentum since we've got 2 repair skills. Any other talent will be doing more for us here. Also, check out the description for a link to a Reddit post that goes into the damage trade-offs between Striker Chest and Obliterate Chest. Let's address the giant, minor attribute-sized elephant in the stat screen. Armor Regen Miners. These are very inefficient. We're sacrificing 60% critical hit damage for an extra 24,000 regen. If instead we used a piece of Bellstone, now we have an extra 9,332 regen, and we can drop a full 2 minor regen attributes for 12% critical hit chance. So we'd be getting more damage, not to mention, we already have 3% regen from a fully maxed Memento. That would give us more regen than all of our minor regen attributes combined. So we can see here how there are more efficient ways to get regen since each is working separately and not really synergizing with each other. Now let's look at the other parts of the build. We've got 2 repair skills. This actually looks a lot like my Fix-It Felix Easy Mode build, which you can find in the description. In that build, all my minor attributes were repair skills since we were running the same skills as these. This gives us way more total repairs than what we've got going on here. Throwing on repair skills applies to both skills as opposed to just a fixed amount of regen. Also, throwing on some incoming repairs would be multiplicative with our repairs for ourselves. If we want to go this route, we can just take whatever bits and pieces of the Fix-It Felix build that we want. However, in the interest of improving this build, let's take a step back and not retread the same ground. Since we've got Memento giving us repair skills, skill haste, skill duration, and an extra skill tier, let's change this Mender Seeker to the Repair Chem. Since we don't need Survivalist for the Mender, let's change it to Technician, giving us some more repair skills and another skill tier. Now we're getting more charges on the Repair Chem, more duration for the Cloud, and more haste for recharging. None of these stats were doing much of anything for our Fixer or our Mender. We could even swap out the Fixer for a Hive. Be sure to set the technician spec to skill repair instead of skill damage. In this version of the build, we still want to throw on some more repair skills miners and some incoming repairs mods, but since the hive and the chem give us more repairs, especially in burst, we should be able to convert more miners to critical hit chance and critical hit damage. So we got some improvements for the first two versions of this build. Go the Fix It Felix route by switching completely over to support the Mender and Fixer, or commit to the Memento and swap out the healing skills. Now let's talk about doing a bit of a more drastic change. Swap out our healing skills for the Artificer Hive and the Crusader Shield. Again, we're going to dump the Regen attributes, convert them all to critical hit chance and critical hit damage to maximize our damage output. We could put 1 or 2 repair skills attributes in for the Artificer if we wanted. The shield already gets 2 tiers from Memento and a 3rd from Technician. Boom. We're getting 5/6 of the repairs on the shield that we were getting from 2 healing skills. Add in the Artificer repairing an extra 22% at least every 10 seconds, and that's another 49,000 healing, for a total of around 100,000 repairs a second on average. My build actually that you can see right now is doing 39% every 10 seconds. We are blowing the previous build out of the water, which was only doing about 75,000. So we're doing 33% more while doing much more damage. Once we got Memento stacked, we'll get more repair in both builds, both from the armor region and from the other stats I've mentioned previously. But also our shield will get more multiplicative shield health. Now of course, as I mentioned in my Fix It Felix build, repair skills protect us from damage from every direction. With the shield, we had to be positioned properly in order for the shield repair to help us. On the other hand, repair skills also heal on a tick of 1 second, so sometimes the burst damage of enemies can still take us down before the next tick takes effect. Meanwhile, the shield gives us a much bigger effective health pool to allow us to react and soak a lot more damage. In this build, we're going from 1 million armor essentially to 1 million armor plus 2.7 million shield health. That's a big difference. Alright agents. Judgment time. Is this a build or a bust? It's a build. It can definitely be improved in a lot of ways, but Striker will carry you a long way in Heroic. If you want to build it, go for it. Just please, whatever you do, take off those armor regen miners. Alright agents, there you have it. 3 improved builds to try out for yourself. Which is your favorite, and what would you personally change? As you hit the thumbs up below and subscribe, make sure you commit to memory that armor regen attributes suck. Write it on your keyboard, engrave it on your fridge, get a tattoo of it on your kneecap, whatever works for you. Anyway agents, once again, this has been Dispatch. Thanks for learning with us, and take care out there.